Alright guys, welcome back. We're here to do Nohl's epilogue, and hopefully he will be satisfied with us and leave us alone for the rest of the guys, because he has no chill. So let's pop in. Don't think you can fool me with your happy music. Oh boy, alright. But I am low-key excited for this. I still like him, even though he's a butt. Under the scorching sun, the hot battle began. An aide. You want to hold a woman's hand?
Yeah!
Do you want to hug a woman?
Yeah!
Do you want a wife?
Yeah!
Then at this time, do your best! We will hold the first bride battle! Bride battle. What did I walk into? And I forgot that we have short-haired Naala. She's so cute. It's so hot. The recent increase in female immigration has increased the desire of both men and women to marry within Nasla. Women are moving in. Let's go. Seeing this as an opportunity, Toya suddenly declared, I'm going to hold a bride battle. You just came up with that out of the blue, did you? I'll never forget the reluctant faces of Surin and Rusi at that moment. Uh-huh. It's a natural reaction. Because the three of them, including Toya himself, are the victims of the forced matchmaking tournament that Nohl held the other day. Ah, yes. However, Surin and Rusi were also relieved after hearing the details of the event. It is said that at this event, women who wish to meet men first register for the tournament. Then, a man who wishes to meet a woman stands in front of her. And they say a few words to each other. If they seem to be compatible, they become tentative lovers. Alright, so we're blind dating. Bride battle. Incidentally, if one woman has more than one man before her, the men will duel. Okay. Only after winning this, the man can finally make contact with the woman. When I heard about this system, I laughed wryly. Even though it was a battle using mock swords, this bloodthirsty tournament is truly worthy of being called a battle. However, it is an extension of the festival. It seemed to be proceeding peacefully, though the men's eyes were glazed slightly. Since such a festival can now be held under the auspices of the king, thinking about it from the old days, it has become quite peaceful. Somehow, I even felt a smile on my face. And when I smiled... What? There's a vacancy on the female side? That's extremely regrettable. Suddenly, Toya's aide said in an exaggerated tone. The atmosphere in the venue seemed to be a little disappointed as well. Having heard this, Toya nodded once with the face of a hawkish king. These guys just don't stop plotting, do they? I mean, I think it's fair. Considering what Nohl put them through, I think it's fair. Fair play. His Majesty has a good idea. Shall we ask the political assistant's wife to help? What? He looks thrilled. Everyone, listen carefully. The wife of the political assistant here will also join the winner's right. But you can only hold hands with her. Do not do anything immoral. I don't know, holding hands is toeing the line there. What are you talking about? That's... Of course, there is no way that Nohl would allow this. Oh, he would love to. Absolutely. No, he'll do it. He's just gonna, like, beat the butt of anybody who comes near you. The moment I thought that, I felt a frigid wind blow from Nohl, who was next to me. It rubs my skin in an unpleasant way. His beautiful smile, which is inversely proportional to his anger, fuels my fear even more. At a distance, and with a wide smile on his face, Toya tilted his head as if he didn't feel even the slightest bit of that anger.
Lord Nohl, I have a message from Lord Toya. You are the one who is encouraging marriage to the point of arranging a forced matchmaking banquet. How can you say no in your position of being everyone's role model? That is all.
Oh, I see. Now I got it. In other words, this tournament is the revenge for the forced matchmaking tournament that Nohl held the other day. Yeah. Of course, he's probably thinking about the people, but still, revenge is probably an important point for Toya right now. In the back of his narrowed eyes, I could see a strong will that said, I will never let you say no. This is bad. We can't have the king and his political assistant arguing in front of the people. Nasla's political assistants must always be on the king's side. Disrupting that structure in front of the people would give political opponents a chance. I'm sure Nohl is very aware of this, so much so that he's keeping his mouth shut with a beautiful and fearful smile on his face. I looked at him, and Nohl slid his gaze to the shadows. Immediately after, one of the Black Ops slips out of the darkness and approaches. He whispered something in Nohl's ear and then vanished like a puff of smoke. Nohl's silence is broken abruptly.
His Majesty, I have just received word from one of my subordinates that something has come up that requires immediate attention. I regret to inform you that I shall have to leave at once.
For a moment, Toya also had a disappointed look at losing the chance to take revenge, but if it was true, he wouldn't be able to stop him. With a difficult look on his face, he nodded his consent and allowed Nohl to leave. What? No way! You're leaving me alone here? However uninteresting the development may be, it's just too cruel? I was about to open my mouth to say something when Nohl turned to me. In contrast to the confused me, Nohl patted my head with the face of an understanding and relaxed husband.
Listen, as the wife of the political assistant, you will often be of assistance to His Majesty and help to make this tournament a success.
Are you okay with that? Nohl has a very deep-rooted personality. If you slight him, even once, he'll remember it until the day he dies. And he pays it back 10 times over. Sometimes when I forget about this, he hits me with an unreasonable punishment. I'm sure this time too. It's not my fault, but I'm sure he'll complain about it later. In addition, there's no doubt that there will be some kind of revenge levied upon Toya. However, as if to dispel my anxiety, Nohl said with a smile,
Yes, of course it's fine, is it not? In the current situation, the birth rate is directly linked to the marriage rate. In other words, it is no exaggeration to say that the future of the country depends on this tournament. If I can help them, I should cooperate as a vassal.
I feel some sadness at being forgiven so easily. But Nohl is right. If I can help my country just by holding hands, it's a small price to pay. So, if you're okay with it, I'll do my best to help. Well, it's not as if men will come to me, as I can only meet them. For just a moment, Nohl's face became serious, and tension ran down my spine. However, it soon returned to a wide smile, so it may have been an illusion caused by the backlight, I'm sure.
Then I shall leave it to you.
I nodded, and Nohl gave me another pat on the head before turning away. I hold back the urge to reach out for him as he moves away. He'll be back. This is okay, right? Yeah, it's fine. Chanting a few words to calm myself down, I walk up to the podium where the women who have registered for the tournament are lined up. It would not surprise me at all if he came back in, his mask disguise. And everyone's like, who's that man with such grace and strength to defeat everyone? And I'd be like, haha, it was me all along. I'm calling it. There was already a line in front of popular women, and men were sparkling at eye-to-eye contact. Good. By the looks of things, I'll probably end up being ignored. Oh, sweet, sweet Naala. No one would be interested in a woman with such short hair. On this continent, there's a deeply rooted sense of values that women with short hair are ugly. In other words, I must be quite an ugly woman in everyone's eyes. That confidence was quickly destroyed. Shocked. Everyone was shocked. What the hell? For some reason, there was quite a line of people in front of me. Who could have foreseen this? They all said things like, holding hands with the wife of that political assistant without punishment is like meeting a spirit. And that would make a nice memory. Inwardly impatient, I turned my eyes to cling to Toya, and he replied, sorry, with just the movement of his mouth. I have no allies. I'm all alone here. Even though I was prepared to go up on the platform, this whole spectacle is making my head hurt. I would like to ask the men who are having a lot of fun. You came here to find a marriage partner, didn't you? To tell you the truth, I want to go home as fast as I can. But this is a royal order, and more importantly, Nohl has asked me to do this, so I can't turn it down now. I involuntarily turned my eyes away, but when I noticed something, I opened my eyes. What? I stare at the figure at the end of the line and catch my breath. There was... Yes! I freaking knew it. Called it. I called it. He's pulling a Robin Hood. This is so great. Alright, I love this. This is already my favorite epilogue. The masked man who once saved me from thugs. Hey, that's Nohl, isn't it? He would never admit it himself, but that is Nohl. The men in the line also noticed the strange atmosphere created by the masked man and were whispering to each other. I would have raised the same eyebrows if I were in the men's shoes. At any rate, that mask is too suspicious. Those with good guesses were whispering, "That's Lord Nohl." But no one leaves. Not a single person has left, perhaps because getting an encounter with the wife of the political assistant is too good of an event to pass up. I panicked again and glanced at Toya with a feeling of wanting him to guess. Toya seemed to have noticed it with my gaze. I gazed at the masked man, Nohl, lined up at the end. Good. This will do the trick. I patted my chest, but Toya's amused expression betrayed my expectations. It seems that Nohl's unexpected behavior was quite amusing, as Toya is grinning the whole time. What? You're not going to stop this? And so, with no one to intervene, duels broke out in various areas of the venue.
Ha! Gah! Yeah! Gah!
Things developed at such a breakneck pace, I almost want to give it a quick summary and nothing more. The men lined up in front of me were knocked down one by the masked man in a one-on-one match. Who could have foreseen? His blows are quite hard, so everyone's body will be sore for a few days. The predictable outcome made me want to crouch down with my aching head in my hands. No, I actually did crouch down and groan. How did this happen, I wondered. I wish he could have just talked things out and come to an agreement, rather than letting things come to this. I feel sorry for the men who participated in this event, who were left for dead. I mean, they knew what they were getting into. This is the consequences. Oh, he's the last one. A much larger man raises a mock sword. The masked man dodged an attack that took advantage of his distance with only minimal movements. For those watching from afar, the masked man who was winning consecutive battles must have looked relaxed. But in that one moment, I saw that Nohl is sweating? The sun is strong today. Even Nohl, if he fights against a large number of people in this cheerful atmosphere, will sweat. It seems. I had never seen Nohl so desperate that he was sweating, so it felt like I was watching a vision.
Oh!
The masked man who finally defeated his last opponent silently puts away his mock sword. Then he walked up to me without saying anything. He held out his hand, and I can't help but put my fingertip on it with a conditioned reflex. It's like an ingrained habit because I know the other guy is Nohl. The oath of absolute obedience still works. Girl, you okay? Blink twice if you need help. I don't know what to do from here. Since Nohl didn't say anything, both the person in charge and I struggled to make a decision. When I tilted my head awkwardly, the hand that was still held was pulled a little harder. It probably means, follow me. I bowed my head to the person in charge, who was still confused, and quietly left the venue. Eventually, when we came to a back alley where there was no one, his silent back suddenly stopped. The too suspicious mask turns around and stares down at me. I'm not sure if it's okay to call him Nohl. I was waiting for him to say something quickly when he held his palm in front of me. Guessing that it means, wait here, I nod. Then the masked man walked briskly, turned the corner of the alley, and disappeared without a word. What, then you're gonna come from the other side and be like, oh, did you leave? What happened? I was totally not that masked man. What's this? Am I being punished unreasonably again? I sighed, as today had become a day of fretful decisions.
I wonder what kind of person would make a rampaging horsewoman sigh like that. I'm curious.
Nohl? My shoulders jumped as I was spoken to in the opposite direction that the masked man had left in. Shocking. Who could have seen it? I like to imagine he's wearing this exact outfit. He just has the mask on. And it's like, I am so incognito right now. When I turned around with the momentum of falling, Nohl immediately supported me. I felt that his palm was slightly damp with sweat, and I almost grinned a little. He was an amazingly wonderful man.
Such a wicked wife to compliment another man in front of her husband.
Oh, you're still going with the alternate persona. I wonder if he hates to be seen as so desperate. His self-esteem has always been higher than the clouds. At this rate, Nohl will never admit that the masked man is him until he dies. Have you finished your urgent work?
A while ago.
Was it hard?
No. It took some time, but it was so easy that I caught myself yawning.
I see. I couldn't say, but you were sweating. Speaking of which, I feel like I'm about to do something embarrassing. No, it will definitely be done. So I just chuckled, but Nohl didn't seem to find even that amusing. He scoops my chin with his fingertips and our gazes collide at close range.
Is something the matter?
I couldn't say it honestly, so I immediately said another truth. There was this guy with a mask, and the way he fought was incredible. That's why I smiled when I remembered it.
To the extent that it's so captivating?
Yes. The physical handling and swordsmanship, everything was refined. I think the woman who'll marry that man is a lucky person.
I wonder. Perhaps he might be more jealous than anyone else and would be too much to handle.
I doubt anyone could handle that. And besides... Suddenly, Nohl puts his hands on both my cheeks. There's an instant sensuality in the air, and I gasp slightly. I waited for the approaching lips, feeling like I was being given the finest nectar. Uh-huh. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them, they're so happy. You sillies.
Please, no more talk of the masked man. The only thing to come to your lips should be my name.
Jeez. Have you come to the point of being jealous of yourself?
What are you talking about?
He bit my tongue a few times, as if to tell me not to point it out. The sharp numbness at the tip of my tongue echoed deep inside my head, and I felt like my back was going to crumble. When I blinked my tear-filled eyes begging for forgiveness, Nohl smiled beautifully.
Say it. Mm-hmm? If what you speak is the correct answer, then I shall give you a reward.
Every time I hear his voice with this charm, the skin of my whole body tingles. If I hear even a little, it circulates through my body like a powerful drug and controls me. I feel like this is in reference to certain fruits and things and other alternate endings, but we will not talk about that right now. My lips, trembling with delight, moved more honestly than a well-trained dog. Girl. Nohl, I love only you. You're the only one who looks amazing. A few years ago, or when I got just married, I wouldn't have said these lines by mistake. But now I'm so happy to be able to say it, I can't stand it. I can greet such changes in myself with joy. If the eyes that gaze upon you reflect all that is in your heart, Nohl deepened his smile and whispered,
You have passed.
I closed my eyes, entranced by the softly layered lips. The finest reward was so sweet and sensual that it made my whole body melt. But I still think it's nice of you to put on the mask and get desperate. It might not have been his intention, but thanks to Nohl, today's participants will understand the wonders of marriage. Getting your butt kicked by another man, apparently. After all, that icy political assistant was driven to the point of sweating in wanting his wife. I can't possibly tell you how much my life has changed. You can say that again. His too, honestly. Both of y'all. Alright, that was cute. They're both sillies. I liked it. Very in character. Alright, hopefully that means he will be satisfied for 5 seconds and we can do Seth's route next. So hopefully I will see you there for that, guys. Until then, see you later.